Hey everyone, Chris and Jason here with the Private Lenders Podcast, as always sponsored by hardmoneymastermind.com and our lending company, hardmoneybankers.com. Today we're going to be discussing both of those because we're talking about the importance of building relationships in the hard money world. And we're talking about relationships across the board. Like this could be with your borrowers, with your capital investors, with other local lenders, with the local attorneys, everything else. I remember one thing that we did when we first got in the industry. This is back in mid 2007, late 2007, around there, when we were just getting HMB together, is we went around in the DC and Baltimore areas to the other private lenders that were smaller operations at the time. They were like a couple people, they had X amount on the street. It wasn't really built out like it is now. And we just wanted to get to know people, what they were like, what their business was like, any kind of, possibly even share deals. We didn't go there for that, but like it ended up happening. Or intel on industry people, just general industry stuff. And we found that to be super helpful when we were starting out.
Yeah, I think kind of as we've grown, those relationships have gone a long way. Private lenders, our borrower relationships, our private capital investors, other private and hard money lenders we know throughout the country. Different people have different prerogatives and their businesses grow in different directions based on kind of what they see. But I'll never forget some of the hard money lenders and private lenders that we met with on day one. And it wasn't necessarily just to try to raise capital from them, although we have quite a bit of capital that we raised early on that were hard money lenders that just didn't have great deal flow. So they decided we could deploy it on their behalf. And that worked for them as well. But, I remember having lunch with some of them and kind of asking questions, molding our business around kind of how they did, what some things were that I really liked that they did, some things that we didn't like that they did. I think there was one guy in particular that was local that did a ton of deals and everybody knew him. He didn't really have a website. He wasn't easy to deal with. He only worked like 8 to 1 a few days a week, but like he knew everybody in town. And because of that, he would always get deals, just deal after deal after deal after deal after deal. He was easy to deal with. People knew that he would close. He made a good reputation for himself. And although it was hard to get a hold of the guy, he was reliable at the same time. And it was just the same deals for borrowers over and over and over and over. And I was like, that's exactly. And I think that kind of one of the things that interested us as we were growing, and obviously we did it through marketing to build those relationships, was like, I want to be in a position where everybody knows our name locally. So, even if you don't do any marketing or even if you don't do anything proactive, people are just going to constantly reach out to you on a regular basis to fund their deals. It was always important to us.
Yeah. Something else that was interesting about those meetings, thinking back, is that everybody liked different stuff, like slightly, obviously still in the investment real estate private lending world, but some people, like the guy that we mentioned who did tons of loans before he passed away, he wrote 30-year loans. And we always found that to be kind of interesting that he would choose such a long-term. Somebody else in Baltimore area likes really small loans to pay off really quickly, like with a lot of principal pay down. There's a DC based group that came into the industry more commercial focused, and then they ended up like gravitating towards condo conversions and even doing like builds themselves. And like people kind of just, everyone wasn't doing the exact same loan product, and people had different reasons why. And for those reasons, you get to share some deals. You get to pass some deals around because there's stuff that we would do that they wouldn't, and vice versa.
Yeah, never really thought about that. You're right. That is a really good point. Like you were saying, one of the capital investors that would lend money, he did really high interest rates, but he did short amortized loans. And his goal was to do income properties in lower end areas. And, the goal for him was like, hey, borrower, this isn't going to cash flow, but in 5 years, you're going to own this property free and clear, and it's going to pay back in 5 years. And it's very different than it is now, because all those institutional back lenders that are in our space, they all have the same product. They all have the same back end product.
Same product.
It all falls into like 85% LTC or 90% loan to cost, 90% towards your purchase, 100% towards your construction, or 80% towards your purchase, 100%. It's all the same product, but like that didn't exist. And again, some people like purchases, some people like rehab, some people like refinances. I remember a lot of folks, they didn't like doing cash out refinances, even at low LTVs, because they felt like they didn't perform as much compared to a straight acquisition and construction loan on a fix and flip. So again, this is kind of getting away from building relationships, but the point is understand what and why different people like different products and different things, because if you're just starting, definitely get to know a lot of other hard money lenders or local investors and lenders. And the reason why is maybe you have capital and they don't right now, or maybe they have capital and you don't right now. Maybe you have a good deal. I mean, everyone's looking for good opportunities, good ways to deploy capital. So, that's always kind of been a really good thing. I mean, we're very tight and very friendly with a lot of the hard money lenders locally, and they're allies. They're not competition. If somebody,
they're both,
if somebody beats you out on something, whatever, like typically if it's because of significant cost, you understand that, right? Or if you have the same cost and someone beats you, it's probably not because they're malicious. It's probably because, they created a better relationship with the borrower than you did. So sure. you can't blame them for that.
Yeah. Now I've been thinking since we've been talking, and maybe we can just go down some of the timeline of the history of HMB and us in private lending full time, and how those relationships and other things have expanded over the years. It's pretty interesting. So we went to our first hard money conference called the Pitbull Conference. People probably have heard of that one. Been around for a long time. Right after we started HMB. So this was, I think, January in 2008. So maybe a month after we had closed our first loan. We probably had 1 or 2 loans under our belts at the time. Get on a plane, go to Vegas, and we learned the market was different, so people were doing different stuff back then, but we met some people that we still know now, right? And we would catch up with, so we kind of stayed away from that conference for a while, just like felt like we had, the information it provides for some years, and then we circled back. And the content of the conference wasn't really any different, but a lot of the players were, and a lot of the people were, and they started traveling around, so it wasn't always in Vegas. There was one, for example, in Atlantic City we went to a handful of years ago, and we met a bunch of people there, like real estate friends, even who aren't private lenders, but they happen to go to this hard money conference, some other DC area lenders, some Jersey people, and just kind of continuing to expand that network of people who can benefit from one another in terms of the kind of stuff they're doing at the time. Like that's when the institutional capital sources were getting popular, and they're like, oh, I can hook you up with this one or that one. And as everyone knows, we said it 1,000 times, we always passed on those sources, but still met people that were very good industry connections at the time. And then probably not long after that is when we got a request to do our first consulting thing from a lender in like one market down from us, further south in Virginia than where we lend. And he, I guess just from coming across our website and our social stuff and everything else, like the way we ran our business, wanted to learn how to expand his. So he hit us up and was like, hey, can I throw some money at you guys to learn your system? Like that sort of thing. And that was kind of the accidental genesis of the mastermind, right? And like the consulting that's extended out from that. Now we're obviously trying to make this more online, interactive, easier, just because there's so many great like tools and social media, internet in general, that we can do the kinds of stuff that we have done offline over the years in like a member sort of site.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, it's kind of, there's not a lot of information for the private and hard money lending space. Back in the day before institutional capital came out, there was zero, right?
None.
Nobody talking about this stuff. It was kind of underground, underregulated. It was, hey, I have some money, I have a deal. Let's fund this deal. Now there's big corporations that are lending billions of dollars. I'll tell you, years ago, we never would have thought that would have existed. And I believe in the future that it'll disappear. Maybe not fully, but, again, institutional capital, it's around when the market works, right? When there's enough supply or enough demand, I should say, they have plenty of capital, right? If there's enough demand for their money, when the interest rates work, when the real estate market's doing good. I mean, if there's a dip in the market, a lot of those players are kind of going to be gone. And again, that's not to say that it's not a good time to lend hard money, but if an institution or a bank or somebody wants to get into the space, like they want to deploy real volume. We do $35 million a year. They don't want to jump into an asset class for $35 million a year. That's jump change. They're not making any money on that. So, but the point is, hard money was a household name, and it wasn't back then. And I'm guessing in the future, it probably won't either. I mean, also there wasn't funding platforms and peer-to-peer lending stuff. And I believe that there's going to continue to be that. But again, there needs to be education behind it, the right way to do it. Like what's the right deal? So, I mean, there's organizations like AAPL and, Pitbull has his conference and stuff like that. But I think one of the reasons, and I know, we're kind of jumping to this free community, this Hard Money Mastermind free community, which we're going to talk about in a second, but ending with relationships go a long way, right? It's not just other hard money lenders. It's working with your borrowers, working with your private capital investors, working with your partnerships. I mean, we never thought we were going to open up an office in New Jersey or Pennsylvania when we started, but we had solid relationships up there and the right timing came and it made sense to do, right? Someone's like, hey, when are you going to expand into, I don't know, Chicago or whatever? It's like, we're not. Like, we don't know Chicago. But who knows? The right opportunity might come and you might. So you keep relationships. And I'm glad that a lot of people from all over the country that are lending either their own money or other people's money, it could be a small company, it could be a big hard money lending company, they're serious about this industry and this space because it's great and it's lucrative. Should we jump into Hard Money Mastermind a little bit about this free community that finally we kind of not launched because it's been going on for a long time, but we're kind of publicizing a little bit?
Yeah. You want to break down the new platform and how it's free for anyone and all of that stuff? Break down some of the features?
Sure.
Oh yeah, there we go. So if you're watching on video, then you can see this come up on the screen. If you're on audio, maybe go check out our YouTube later on if you do want to see a demo of the Mastermind.
I mean, if you want to see it, it's going to be on the Hard Money Mastermind group as soon as this is over. So you can just go to hardmoneymastermind.com and register for free, and you'll be able to kind of access all of this. So, okay, so Hard Money Mastermind, #1 free community for new and experienced private and hard money lenders. So here's the deal. So this is absolutely free to jump in on. You get free access to the Hard Money Mastermind. You can pretty much do everything interactive, meet people, chat with people, communicate with people. We have a ton of free training videos. We have over 100 of them that we've done that we had nowhere to house them, right? They were kind of just getting emailed out, put them on platforms here and there. So now they're all housed there. And also for free, it's the quick start, it's a quick start guide, and it's like a 20-minute video of us kind of going through the whole hard money business model. So it's great. So absolutely free. You can hop on. If you do choose, again, you can just hop on and check it out. If you do choose, there's more advanced trainings on there. We have our monthly coaching group, and our monthly coaching group, we do, calls every month, live event every month. That's interactive with everybody. And then you can access all the old ones. It goes back to maybe April 2019. And then we have a bunch of expert interviews. And then we also have a Hard Money Masterclass with downloads, videos, everything you want. So again, you don't have to do that. But you can if you want. But even if you have a free account, you're not missing out on anything, right? There's so much stuff right there just with the free account. That was the point, was for us to interact. We've tried this through Facebook groups. We've tried this through kind of other forums, and nothing was interactive enough. So I do encourage you, after you get a free account, to make sure you download the app as well, because the app makes it really, really easy. And this is probably the only place that's like the home base for hard money. You're stuck in a transaction and you need help, post it on the Hard Money Mastermind, and someone will hop in and, chat, questions related to this. You want to meet people. I saw somebody recently that wanted to network with a few other lenders in different markets because they had deal flow, but they didn't know the markets and they wanted to refer them to other private lenders. And like that happened a few days ago. And I was like, give me a few more days and we'll have this thing set up for you. And this is exactly what you need for it. So, and in essence, they have stuff like this in other industries, but they never really had it in private lending or hard money. And I mean, think about it. Let's say you're a private lender, you have a few $100,000 that you want to deploy responsibly. What resources do you have? Your resources are, let me call my attorney and ask him what to do. Well, guess what? That attorneys might know how to legally paper the file and paper the document with a note or a deed of trust or a mortgage or assignment of rents and legalize, but he doesn't know how to structure a loan. You got to know how to structure a loan. You got to know, and not legally, how to do it underwriting and safe, so you save your investment. oh, should I collect monthly payments? Do I not collect monthly payments? How much do I lend? How much should the cash to the borrower bring to the table? Stuff like that. So just so you know, I mean, there's over 100 videos of Chris and I talking about all of this stuff. And, you know, start for free, go through all those. And when you're ready for more advanced stuff like monthly coaching group and the monthly coaching calls and the master class, we can jump all, you can get all that as well. You know, if you have a full service hard money lending company now, you might want to just bump up to the advanced stuff, but you certainly don't need to. And, you know, there's lots of folks that this just launched recently. There's lots of folks in there already that are experienced and brand new.
Yeah, no, I wanted to emphasize that as well. I'm glad you said that, because this mastermind group really is for anybody who has any level of interest in hard money. I mean, you don't have to be a full-on experienced lender with a big outstanding portfolio and tons of capital. Like, it doesn't have to be that. It could be somebody who's maybe doing real estate deals in general, and they want to consider this niche too. Maybe someone who's brokering loans and they want to consider lending, and not just brokering to other lenders. So it really does run the gamut of the people who can bring value to the community. You know, it could be in terms of just asking questions and interactions, referring a deal out to someone else, getting underwriting help, like really anyone from just interested to full on outstanding portfolio. This is tailored for all those people.
Yep.
Yeah, some other cool stuff coming up on the screen there. Yeah, I've been playing around with the site and also the app too. The app does a very good job of mimicking, you know, in phone form what the desktop site looks like. So I'll definitely check that out as well.
Yeah, but again, hop on for free. Like, this isn't like a sales oriented platform. Like, if you want advanced stuff and advanced training and do monthly coaching calls, you know, with the group who's a member, you're free to do it, but you don't have to, right? There's plenty of information for just free stuff to do it. It's a good community, and, you know, we're really, really trying to grow it. I mean, over the years, we've had a lot of private lenders and hard money lending companies throughout the country that we've been in our coaching group, as well as private consulting that we've done. So, I mean, we've met a lot of them, and we understand what the needs are and the demands are. We've obviously created some of the higher end curriculums around it, but we've also had these little, you know, 4-minute, 10-minute videos of all of that stuff as well that is shared. So it's a ton of good stuff. So, you know, we're going to continue to grow it with hard money lenders and private lenders and expand it out to service providers and vendors and, you know, attorneys that potentially do, you know, that concentrate in this space and things like that. So definitely encourage you to, you know, take advantage of it. It's a really, really cool platform. So we're excited about it. And, you know, all the content that we do moving forward is going to continue to be on this platform in real time. So it's pretty much the only place to access it.
Yeah, it has been really cool too to see the interaction, even in just the first couple of days of this launching, with the different members getting in there, making their profile, telling a bit about what their niche is in hard money, throwing out a question, commenting on other people's stuff. Like, I'm just planning to have this on my second screen, you know, every day, and just keep an eye on the interaction, jump in, answer questions when I can, ask a question of my own, stuff like that. Check out the videos that we're posting. I mean, obviously I've seen the videos because we're making the videos, but I also still like to look at them after the fact. So yeah, we hope you guys want to check it out. hardmoneymastermind.com. Just get a free account, look around, let us know what you think, do a little intro, do a little like, hello, glad to be in the group, that sort of thing. And we'll see where we can take this thing.
Yep. All right, guys. Appreciate it. We will talk soon.